Submission. Submission. Bomaye, Bomaye, Bomaye. Yeah. Bomaye, Bomaye, Bomaye.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition of An Evening With right here on Movement Radio. I'm Talon Williams.
I am Chip Hazard.
And I'm Roger Sierra.
And joining us tonight, ladies and gentlemen, one of the fastest rising stars in professional wrestling today. He is a part of Major League Wrestling. He is the Suplex Assassin, Mr. Alex Kane. How you been, brother? You doing
I've
right?
been great. It's been a long time since I've heard fastest rising star, but I like it.
Hey, I mean, we tell the truth on this show. I mean, it's the way it is.
For real.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for coming on with us. We do appreciate it, you being here. We'll just hit you guys with the standard question that we hit everybody the first time they come on the show. For the people who don't know who you are, tell them who is Alex Kane.
Alex Kane is that one guy that'll come in with dope music. My music is dope as fuck. Dope music and wreck shop. I come in, wreck shop, and leave. Like an African Stone Cold in a way, except I don't drink beer all the goddamn time. I like beer, but I don't drink it all the time.
Right, Michelob, right?
Michelob, baby, Michelob.
There you go. All right, absolutely.
I should have put hair on your chest, and I don't need no more of that.
Right? Right.
I need a little bit, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. All right.
All right. So that's who Alex Kane is. Who was Alex Kane before professional wrestling?
Man, Alex Kane was a skinny kid who got bullied by lots of people until he showed people that he was fucking crazy, but not crazy like loony bin crazy. Crazy like, I'll fuck your life up. You keep fucking with me. I 3-sport athlete in high school, 2-sport athlete in college. I'm a sweetheart. You can't see it in the ring, but I'm a sweetheart.
Right. Man, the way you be chunking people left and right, yeah, I wouldn't say.
I know, for real.
You know what's crazy? Like, and Talon was there. I did a show last Saturday, and I feel like that's the strongest I've ever felt. Like the guy that I was wrestling wasn't a small dude, but I feel like I was throwing him like he was nothing.
Yeah, oh no,
I feel like I gotta throw him more.
Yeah, I watched the match and it was fucking great.
Right. I remember the first time I met you, first time me and Chip met you, you wrestled Damian Wayne at Revive Pro Wrestling in Centerville, Tennessee. And that's the first time I actually got a chance to actually witness you in the ring. And we said back, I think, Chip, I think it was about a year or so ago, we did an AMA show. And one of the questions that was asked was, who are the 5 stars, or who are the 5 fastest up and coming rising stars in the pro wrestling industry and on the independent scene today that could possibly go somewhere? And I'm not going to lie, you're the first name that I said. And the reason why is because I've seen what you did on that night against Damian Wayne. And Damian Wayne, shout out to him, because he's been a veteran. He's been all over the place. He's done a lot of good things. The only critique I think I had was his, ring placement. But dude, you've went far and beyond that. Like I'm looking at what you're doing now, dude, and it amazes me how far you've come since when we seen you in 2019, and it's amazing to see where you've come since then. So congratulations with that. Where did you get your start in professional wrestling? When did it click for you? Like, I want to become a professional wrestler.
Man, I was watching Jeff Hardy and The Undertaker on Raw. It was the Undisputed Championship ladder match.
Oh wow.
And fucking man, Undertaker beat this man's ass. Like when I say beat this man, he beat that man within an inch of his life. Whatever. Yes. I didn't think Jeff Hardy was gonna make it through that one. And I remember like my dad was sitting behind me, and I was like, "Dad, that's what I'm gonna do one day." And he was like, "Well, I mean, if you can set your mind to it, anything is possible." And I was like, "Okay, all right, this is what I'm gonna do." Yeah, that's the moment where I was like, yeah, this is what I'm doing.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a good match to say, hey, that's the one that made me want to do this, because there was so much story in that match that it just fucking crazy. And I don't think that match gets enough credit for what it was.
No, I don't think it does at all. But it is one of those, and it's weird because it was like a 1-month storyline out of nowhere.
but at the same time, it elevated Jeff Hardy to a level that
Yes.
at that point he didn't have that. I think what it did was it brought out a dangerous side of Jeff Hardy. Not that he wasn't
Yeah, he was already
already doing the
dangerous,
crazy stuff.
but
Right, he was already dangerous,
Yeah.
but it showed more of that grit, that determination, that
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know, because if you remember correctly, and I think the way JR sold it in that match, where he kept on saying, you know, climb the ladder, kid, make yourself famous. It was like it made you want to go deeper and immerse yourself more into the story. And then the whole thing happened. Entertainment's like, yeah. But the Undertaker raising Jeff Hardy's hand at the end of that match, that's definitely one of those moments that's like, okay, Jeff's arrived now because he got the
Mhm.
rub from Undertaker at that point.
Yeah.
All right.
That being
So
said, though, so go ahead, Chip.
I
Sorry
was
about
gonna
that.
say,
I got
so
a question.
from
Jeez,
yes,
let me ask my question.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Rod.
let
Go
him
ahead.
ask this question.
Yeah, for real. All right. Who's your favorite Power Ranger?
My favorite Power Ranger is the Gold Ranger, bro. The Gold Ranger from
Yes.
Zeo. Zeo Gold Ranger, most gangster Power Ranger ever. Ever.
Jason coming out of nowhere in the desert, man.
Fucking the suit was fire.
Mhm.
He had the little gold like shoulder pads. The weapon that he had looked dope as shit. Just everything was just fire. They need to make I have this like plastic like Mighty Morphin Black Ranger helmet, and I wish that
Yeah.
they made a Zeo like plastic Gold Ranger helmet because I'd wear the fuck out of that thing. It goes with almost all of my gear.
Said to say you wear it
yes,
to the ring,
yes.
right?
Yeah, I'd wear it to
Straight
the
Oh
up to
yeah,
the
ring.
ring.
he would.
Put it on, headbutt the shit out of somebody. It'd be
Yep.
great.
But them bitches, the real ones are so expensive.
Oh,
They
they
Yeah.
are.
are.
They are.
Jesus.
Yeah. And like there's
Uh,
one on eBay going for like 800 or something like that, maybe
Fuck
more.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm over here complaining about spending 25 on a fig. I'm not spending no 800 on no helmet.
I know, right? Look,
uh,
like that one right there is
I,
like, I don't know, 24 bucks at Walmart. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, you know,
That's
which one is that?
the Hurricane,
Oh,
the
okay.
new one. Yeah.
Man, I
Red
remember
edition.
going to Walmart as a kid. Well, yeah, like middle school. So yeah, as a kid, and like buying like every time I had money, I would go to Walmart and buy a new wrestling figure. And what I have like 20, 25 figures, and I'd be sitting in my room with like the game on to use the entrance music, and then I'd create like a little stage or whatever,
Yep.
and I just sit there for hours just having matches. And
Yep.
then now, today, kids are making hella money off of just recording the shit.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly. Just think if we would have thought about that shit back then, but we weren't. I mean, we weren't in that mindset back then. We were
No, we
like,
were just having
man,
fun.
yeah, just having fun. Now it's all about what can I do to make money.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
So, all right. So from sitting down watching Jeff Hardy and Undertaker and telling your dad, "This is what I'm gonna do." Where does that take you? Uh, from that to
Um,
training.
from so initially, when I started wrestling in high school, I thought that it was gonna be like professional wrestling on TV. So the day that I walk into the room, they're like, where's the ring? Where's the stage? Where's all this stuff?" We're like, "We don't do that crap around here. This is
I said
real wrestling."
I said the same thing. I said the same thing. I was in seventh grade. I walked in and I was like, "Where's the ring?" And my buddy David Logan, who was wrestling Tommy, goes, "No, Talon, it's not that kind of wrestling."
It's not that
And
good.
they all knew
They're
I was a
like,
wrestling fan.
they're
You know,
like,
they were,
this is real wrestling, not that wrestling shit.
yep, yep, yep,
So yeah, so I feel like every sport that I've played, because I've wrestling, rugby, track, collegiate wrestling, and rugby. I think everything that I've done has kind of like prepared me for what I'm doing now, because it's all like the most, like, I guess, the hardest contact sports. Um, but like I started wrestling. I started training in like, I want to say 2018. And was yeah, like it was like May 2018. I started training at the WWE 4 with AR Fox. Um, and that was an awesome experience because he actually took the individual time with me to help me figure out who I wanted to be and where I wanted to go. He would like research because all he does is watch wrestling, so he would like
Right.
find people or whatever that that kind of fit the style that I kind of wanted to do. And he would like work on those moves with me and those spots and timing and footwork and cardio and all of those things. So he other than just being like the trainer, he has a really heavy hand in the creation of Alex Kane.
The
Um,
character development.
the character development. And I mean, again, like I mean, not again. The character development is still going on. It's an ongoing process.
Well, of
Right.
But
course.
to be as good as I was in that first year is because of him. It's because of his training, the way that he does it, and how encouraging he actually is. A lot of guys will be like, "Oh yeah, Fox, you wrestle at Fox." I'm like, first of all, I don't do nothing that man does. I don't do nothing he does, or whatever. I just started doing a little spin out brainbuster that he does, but other than that, I don't do anything he does. Most people don't even know that I'm a Fox kid because I don't
Right.
dive. I don't do any of that. I don't do any of that anymore.
Right.
Um,
So
He's at
yeah, go ahead.
anymore.
I was going to ask a question. Did AR Fox help you with the creation of the Suplex Assassin character, or is that something that you kind of created your own way after the fact, after the
That's
training?
something that I came up with on my own. I knew that I wanted to. I knew that I wanted my arsenal to be suplex heavy, but I didn't want to just be like, oh, Alex Kane, the suplex machine, or whatever, because that's already like Kurt Angle did that shit. Fucking uh, Taz did that shit. Like I didn't want to be that. I also didn't want to be like another clone of Brock Lesnar. Um, but it was actually after an Evolve seminar that they came when they came to Atlanta. I did like a tryout match with Bobby Flacco, and Gabe basically told me that I wasn't shit or whatever, and that I wasn't gonna be shit. And this is
Mm,
Gabe Sapolsky. He
Yeah, yeah,
used to
yeah.
work for WWE. Yeah, he
Yeah.
basically told me I wasn't gonna be shit. I'm not shit. I don't have any charisma. Da 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 da. But he said, but the one of the biggest things that stuck with me is like he said, you don't have a character. Um, so I was like, well, okay, fuck, I'm gonna come up with a character then, man. I'm gonna come up with a character. So I went to I think it was like 2K14, I think 2K14. I think so. I think it was that. Because I don't think I'm, or maybe it wasn't. It was one of the 2K games. I can't remember right now. It was one of the 2K games.
Right.
And I, created myself in this version of Alex King wore trunks. I didn't know I was gonna wear a singlet, wore trunks or whatever. But like, I was trying to figure out like a call name. And you can I don't think you can create the actual like suplex assassin in that game. But when I saw the name assassin, I was like, suplex assassin. Anybody else been a suplex assassin? I did my Googles, I did my research or whatever. No one else is suplex assassin. I'm like, I'm running with this shit because this shit sounds dope as fuck. And from that moment on, when I debuted, when I debuted or whatever, that's what I would always tell them to announce me as at the school show, and from it just took off.
That's what's
awesome.
up. So from the start of your training, how long did you train before you had your debut match?
6 months.
Wow, that's a quick training session. But I mean, clearly
That is. I mean,
you know
Yeah.
what the hell you're doing. So
right. A lot of guys. I mean, a lot of guys take to it like a fish out of water.
Mhm.
They'll just go out there and then bumps are good, mechanics are good, psychology's there. There's guys who come along with 6 months. There's guys that train for 2 years. So
Mhm.
you're very blessed in that regard to be able to have that. Um, was there anybody, because obviously WWA 4 in Atlanta, AR Fox has a lot of guys. Who were some of the guys that you came up with in your class? If you can remember some of the guys that you came up with.
Well, I guess in my because I came in on the tail end of like Lee Johnson was still there, Alan Angels was still there, Danny J was still there, um, Bobby, Cav, um, who else? Ashton Star was still there. Talon Oxen was still there. So I came on the tail. Sean Dean even. So I kind of came on the tail end of those guys coming up. So like I mean I had like a few. There's one guy named Blake Waits that I can remember, but he doesn't really wrestle anymore. And then a lot of the newer kids in the A4 class, not super new, like in like the past year or two, but like some of this other guys, kind of who I came up with. Um, but yeah, my class wasn't big.
Okay.
That's what's up. So it's I didn't know that you trained with those guys. Like they've been, obviously, uh, pretty much everybody you just named has done like some matches for AEW.
Hmm.
And you're obviously signed with MLW. Has there ever? I mean, do you want to eventually make that jump to AEW, or is that not something that's in the cards for you right now? Are you just focused on what you're doing now and becoming the best version of you there is?
Um, that's always going to be in the cards. Like, I mean, I want to be a professional wrestler, and I want to be on the biggest stage I possibly can be. So whether it's AEW or WWE or international New Japan or even New Japan America or whatever, like I want to be either the best to ever do it or one of the best to ever do it. So wherever I need to be to showcase that, that's where I want to be.
That's what
They
I want
that
to hear.
for fans, the AEW money is real nice. So yeah, definitely. In 2 years, call your boy up.
Yeah.
See, that's what's up.
That's
I
absolutely.
wholeheartedly believe, like, this isn't me blowing smoke up your ass. I wholeheartedly believe that you are going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest star in the next 5 years.
Oh yeah,
I
for
appreciate
sure.
that. Thank you very
Absolutely,
much.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, we I to ask you a little bit like what how you got into professional wrestling. Who were some of your favorites growing up?
Growing up, the very first person that I guess I that kind of brought me into professional wrestling was Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it wasn't that I was watching the Attitude Era. I got a VHS called Stone Cold Demolition from a yard sale because I had friends in the neighborhood that are wrestling fans. They had the toy belts and stuff like that. We would wrestle in the front yard. Um, we would create storylines and stuff like that. So I was a wrestling fan, but I I didn't really watch it on television. So like when I got Stone Cold's Demolition and I watched that, and like I watched that every single day. And I believe it chronicled Steve Austin and Kane up leading up to the match at Bad Blood. Lose Bad Blood.
Hmm.
Yeah, the first
It
blood
was,
match.
yeah, that first blood match.
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
blood match.
Yeah, that was
Um,
September of '98. I think is what it was. I believe it was September '98.
yeah, so I watch that every day. So Steve Austin is definitely the first. Um, Triple H, The Rock, uh, Billy Gunn, but not New Age Outlaws Billy Gunn, like right in the middle, like not Billy and Chuck Billy Gunn, but like the one Billy Gunn, like that's the one that I liked. Um, and then Shelton
Now,
Benjamin, Kurt Angle, Randy Orton. I used to always want to be Randy Orton. But yeah, those are my guys.
okay.
Awesome, awesome,
Do you ever
awesome.
go back and study some of the older guys, like, from the 70s or
Now
80s?
that I'm like I mean I don't I have like studied like Stan Hansen, fucking Gary Albright, fucking
That's a name
Doctor
I haven't heard in a
Death,
long time. Wow. See, you
uh,
took me back with that name, dude. Gary Albright. Holy shit. I ain't
fucking
heard that name in
monster, bro,
forever. Dude,
Oh yeah,
he
yeah.
was great, dude. He
fucking
was great. And
monster.
they fucked him so hard in WWE, man. He could have been something amazing, I think. They put him with that Gunner Scott gimmick, put him in there with Chris Benoit, which was a good role for him as a
Hmm.
protege, but then they just fucking just, you know, when you strap him down with a generic gimmick, it's like, what do you do with him after that?
Um,
And that sucks for him. I think he would have been great in WWE, but that's just I'm sorry. You can continue. I'm sorry. I had
oh
to
no,
run it.
no, you're good. Who else? Yeah, I guess as far as like the old, I guess older wrestling, that's really about it. Really about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw a name out there that I think his style kind of fits your style. A guy by the name of Billy Robinson. Have you ever heard of him?
I have not, but now that you have said that, now I will have
Mhm.
to look him up.
Yeah, I can
That's actually a good
definitely
name.
That
recommend
is a good
Billy
name.
Robinson. He was a European wrestler, and he was
Hmm.
light years ahead of his time. And I think you could take some of the stuff he was doing in like the 70s and reinvent it to today and just up your arsenal
I am
even
putting
more.
that in my
Yeah.
notes.
A lot of people have basically a lot of people said this guy basically created catch wrestling. Like
Okay.
the new
The
wave
new
of catch
age,
wrestling. Yeah, the
yeah.
new age of
Hmm.
catch wrestling. Yeah. It
Yeah,
was
he
really,
definitely
really
was ahead
good.
of his time. I mean, pretty much what you see in the European scene now comes from him.
Yeah, a lot of technical holds, joint manipulation, takedowns, ankle picks and things of that nature. Like he was the one who had all that repertoire back in the 70s. Dude was like what Chip said, way ahead of his time beforehand. Um, so you start your journey. You're with WWA for. Um, at what point did it turn for you to where it was like you start getting a little bit more recognition for your hard work? Like when did it start becoming like okay, people are starting to recognize me here? Like when did it start coming to a play? Like I guess when I don't know if MLW contacted you first or if you attended seminars and things of that nature. How did you get
Um,
in contact with that?
how to get in contact with MLW? Uh, I believe the initially when I did the Future Showcase, SCI weekend. Scott Hensley books it, runs it, puts it all
Right.
together. I feel like that was the moment where I started to be put on people's radars. Um, and then from there, like I had a pretty good little run there, and it's still going. But I mean, I had a lot of like those like test you matches or whatever against like guys like O'Shea and Hammerstone, um, John Davis. I the triple threat match actually in the Future Showcase with Nolan Edward and this guy named Jack Griffin. Just being able to go and like really like show who I was or whatever and what I'm about. MLW actually contacted me. They never said like what they actually saw that like drew them in, because I asked Court about this every now and again. But he did tell me that a fan from Ireland had tagged him in something. And something all when you tag a promoter or an owner of a company, they don't always look, but sometimes they do. And sometimes they like what they see. But he told Court basically told me like he saw my work and he was like, we have to get this guy. This guy is something special. So they emailed me. I initially thought somebody was playing with me. Um, like because it just said Jared St. Laurent. Like I was just like, who? What is going on here? Okay, all right. So I put it away, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's see what this says. And he was like, hey, have you ever had any interest in working with MLW? And I was like, yes, I have all the interest. I like y'all's product. Um, so yeah, they basically gave me a week to like to look at the contract and like make the decision. But I decided to sign. Um, and because like it, there were no downsides to me signing with MOW at the stage that I was at. I was only 2 years in, so there was no downside to me signing. It's only benefited me.
Right.
Oh, for sure. Oh,
Where you
my
going,
bad.
Tal?
Oh.
I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was trying to mute real quick.
man, trying to leave already.
Dang,
No, no,
bro,
no. It's all good.
am
It's
I
all
that
good.
boring? Jesus, man, I'm just like
so,
a terrible
so
guest.
real quick, going back a little bit. You were talking about the sports you played. What position in rugby did you play?
Man, at first I started out as a wing, but I wasn't great with catching and running, so they moved me to I believe it was flanker.
Flanker. Yep.
And then there was another one. All I can remember right now is flanker. I know I was in the scrum. The scrum was interesting. Was a very 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 interesting thing to get used to. But it's a really really
Yeah,
cool.
hurts your neck a lot.
Yeah, it does hurt. It does hurt your neck a lot. But it's really really cool. No, and then I was a lock.
A lock, yep, that
Yeah,
makes
a lock.
sense.
Yeah.
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 Oh, we had the same progression as players.
Yeah, Roger also plays rugby.
Yeah.
Oh, you still play?
Yeah, we have a men's league in here in my hometown.
Oh, fire.
We actually have our first game in 3 weeks, and I'm not up to cardio strength for it yet.
Golly. Yeah, man.
I remember those days.
Yeah, I'm trying to relive the glory days, but
Yeah, get in shape, dog. That's nonstop.
Right?
That's
Right.
nonstop chaos.
it's hard right now.
I've seen them rugby guys play, man, on like Peacock and on NBC and stuff like that. It's like,
Shit,
golly,
I wish I was in that
yeah,
shape. Shit.
those guys are freaking machines, dude. Like I think they grow them in labs. I do. Like those guys are fucking
Probably.
monsters.
They probably
Probably.
do. I mean,
Monsters, dude.
well, you got to remember, overseas they actually let kids do sports academies at like 8.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Because I know
These-
for sure that England's training academy starts at 8 years old, and they literally pick out people starting at 8 for their academies.
And if they don't make the rugby team, yeah, just go play soccer. You'll be fine, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, you can run fast. You got good cardio. Go ahead. But anyway,
Yep.
sorry. So you say okay. So you went. You signed the contract with MLW, and you make your debut on July 10th, 2021, and your first match is against Bud Heavy,
Hmm.
and you had Muhammad Lua, aka King Mo, by your side. What was that like to have King Mo by your side for your debut match?
Man, that was pretty fucking cool because I used to watch him knock people out. Um, and Mo, it was like an uncle, like a really cool uncle or whatever, who was high all the time. Um, but I feel like he added a layer to like my matches or whatever that I don't have anymore because like Thomas is nothing like Mo. But like, I guess having Mo at my side felt like I had like a coach in my corner. Um, but I mean, I guess now I'm the coach and the wrestler at this point. Coach my damn self. But yeah, that was really really dope. We have really really good chemistry. I hope that he makes his way back to MLW at some point.
Right.
Yeah, the
And
last
then
I
the
heard
very
he
next.
was
Go ahead, Chip.
I was to say the last I heard about Mo is he was doing something with that AIWF promotion. He's like not the CEO, but he's helping them with some stuff or was. I hadn't heard
Hmm.
anything in a hot minute with him.
I don't
Yeah,
The
know.
last.
I text him every now and again. He doesn't. He gets back, and then sometimes he doesn't.
right.
Yeah, the
Uh,
last thing I see here, it says on November 8th, 2019, Mo wore an MLW shirt during his entrance at a fight in Bellator. The following morning, it was announced that he had signed the exclusive deal with the promotion. Okay, making his debut for the promotion. Blah blah blah. As far as it says right here, it says that he's still currently active with the promotion. He hasn't appeared on any shows in. It says here since where'd it go? Since
It's been a
December of
minute.
2021, something like
Yeah,
that.
it's been a minute.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to
It
take a step back.
was. I think he was there. I think he was there when I wrestled Warhorse. That was the last time that we were. I think we were ever on screen together.
Yeah, that was Fightland, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Let's
That
see.
was a good one. But I want to take a step back. So we kind of jumped ahead to the MLW signing and all that. We talked about your training at WWA4 with AR Fox and everything. What was your first like out of out from and under the WWA4 umbrella booking?
Ooh, honest to God, I don't. Man, it all kind of runs together. I think the first time I wrestled outside of the school might have been Pro South. I wrestled Cav
Okay.
in a match, um, and it was all right. That match, um, I think somebody told me afterwards, like, if you're gonna be the suplex assassin, you got to throw more suplexes. I was like, your finish can't be a spear. I was like, okay, oh, okay, just tell me who I am. Tell me
Hold
who
on.
I am.
Time out, because Kurt Angle was the suplex machine and suplexed the shit out of everybody and finished them with an ankle lock. So why can't your finish
hmm
be a spear? Like that doesn't make any sense to
Man,
me.
at the time,
Everyone
yeah,
does it.
at the time I took it to heart, but like now, like having talked to like Hammerstone, me and Hammerstone had a conversation. He was like, maybe in some of those matches where you're doing a lot of suplexes, maybe you finish them with something else or whatever that's not a suplex, so it all
Right.
doesn't kind of run together.
Yeah.
And I and I apply so many different philosophies to each match. Each match is different for a reason or whatever. Like I just got back to in that match with Noah Hossman or whatever is throwing a bunch more suplexes. Because sometimes I do other shit or whatever. I'm
Right.
just out there having fun. I'm just trying to tell a good story. Because I feel like if I spam too many suplexes at some point, unless the people are just really into it, at some point it kind of loses its like feel, like its impact or whatever. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
like it's you got to kind of play with it. But
Yeah.
continue with the questions.
No. You're fine. You. This is
Oh,
your
okay.
story.
Absolutely.
This is your
Yeah, you can
story.
talk
Right.
about whatever you want.
Exactly.
We're
Exactly.
just. I'm just filling in questions to kind of for my own personal greed, like it's stuff I want to know that I
Mhm.
haven't
Yeah,
been
for real.
able
Right.
to talk to you about, like when we were sitting in a locker room or whatnot, because
Mhm.
it's usually like us going over our matches and all this. Whereas I could have been sitting there and be like, hey, in December of 2019, you wrestled such and such. Like, I just didn't feel like that's the proper place to ask those questions. It's more like shooting the shit and having fun.
Mhm.
Right.
You could ask that
Right.
question. I would have answered it.
Right.
That's the thing. I know you would have, and then we would have went down a rabbit hole and missed our matches.
Yeah.
And
Now
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Hey.
miss my match. I would have heard that music come and be like, I gotta go.
nah,
Right.
I'd have straight missed my
Right.
match.
Right. All right. So I'll be real with you. I follow you on TikTok,
hmm
and a lot of things that you say on TikTok, I sit there and I thought the same fucking thing. You know what I mean? Because there'd be sometimes like I remember this one video, and I stitched the same video you stitched. There was this one guy that said, "You want to know what I think about Mance Warner on AEW?" I'm like, nope. You
No.
know, and then you justed with, no, I don't want to know what you think. Here's the reason. Like, because I think me and you had this conversation in Centerville before. Um, how do you feel about the current state of fandom in professional wrestling right now? Do you
it's
feel like
so
it's an go ahead, go ahead, go
It's
ahead.
so draining. It's so draining. Lord Jesus Christ, it's so draining. Um, because like American fans want to be in on the joke. They want to be in on every single thing going on instead of letting things play out, letting things happen, watching it like a fucking television show. Like the kids, and by kids I mean like in their teens or whatever that are on TikTok now making wrestling content. Just like bashing one company, praising one, bashing the other, praising the other. It's like talking about bookings and shit. Like shut up. Shut up. Y'all don't need to be talking about it like this. Y'all need to be talking about like when Triple H was on his reign of terror. I wasn't like, oh, Triple H is over here putting himself in the best positions. He's controlling the book. No, I was like, I fucking hate Triple H because he's a sniveling, sneaky narcissist. Well, I didn't probably say narcissist at that time, but he's all about himself. This man's a fucking psychopath, and I fucking hate him. Or whatever. That's how I talked about Triple H. I talked about Triple H like he was a character in a comic book or whatever. And I hate, or not even comic book or whatever. Like in a TV show about professional wrestling, and this guy's a fucking asshole. He's fucking terrible, and all he cares about is himself. Why doesn't Randy and Batista and Ric Flair see this man for who he really is? He don't care about none of y'all. Like that, like I wish that's how wrestling fans thought about wrestling instead of trying to be like backstage all the damn time. Like this Seth Rollins Matt Riddle feud. First of all, Seth Rollins don't like Matt Riddle in real life. But you know what? That's not a bad thing because I think what fans don't understand is like it doesn't matter if we're all signed to this company. Like on TV, we're gonna do business, but backstage, like I may not like this motherfucker. This motherfucker may be a terrible human being. I may not like this guy, but you know, if we can take this animosity and make some money or whatever, because I'm pretty sure that some of the great, what am I trying to say? Some of the greatest feuds or whatever. I'm sure them guys didn't like each other, but they was like, you know what? We got good chemistry or whatever, so we're gonna go out here and we're gonna do business. But when I get back through this curtain, don't be trying to talk to me. Fuck you.
Well, that's like
But
Bret
like
Hart and
that,
Shawn
and like
Michaels.
that's what wrestling is. Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, exactly. They didn't like each other. They probably still don't like each other today, but they gonna go and do business.
Right.
Okay, wait, pause. I'm sorry. I got to halt you for just 1 second because I want to know your opinion on this. The Montreal Screwjob.
Here we go.
God damn it!
Do you think it was a work?
It was. It was probably a work for Vince and Shaw, but they probably blindsided Bret on that. I mean, but it could have all been a work or whatever. But like, it was so real. It was such a real thing to happen or whatever that like I don't even think it really matters at this point. No one's ever gonna actually know unless Bret's like, oh yeah, on his deathbed, like yeah, that shit was a work or whatever. We worked all you motherfuckers, and like that's I guess my last point with the fandom of professional wrestling right now. Stop trying to not be worked by professional wrestling. You're here to be worked. Be worked. That's how you get entertained. Be worked. Quit trying to be. You're not. Fuck. What's that? Y'all quit trying to be baby Dave Meltzers. Nobody likes Dave Meltzer. Nobody likes Dave Meltzer. Nobody. I don't like Dave Meltzer. I think Dave Meltzer said some weird shit about me and MOW, but still, fuck that guy. The fact that WWE used to feed him bullshit stories, and that he would report on it like it was like straight fact, and they'd just be laughing at that man. The man is a cancer to wrestling.
And that's why that's why he disrespects WWE matches so much, because they fucked with him so much. Now he's getting his revenge.
Yeah, who like he started the whole this is a 5-star match. 5-star matches do not exist. They do not exist. I don't want to hear you say, "Oh, Will Ospreay has all these 5-star matches." You're sucking the teeth of Will Ospreay or whatever. You think he's amazing. He alright to me. He cool. He probably a cool person. Maybe not or whatever. But he's not. I'm not watching a Will Ospreay match or watching a Will Ospreay spot and being like, "Oh my god, this is so amazing," because it's not. It's still wrestling. I'm not gonna say it's not wrestling, but it's not that amazing.
So clearly
wrestling is
you've
art.
seen
Wrestling is subjective. You know.
Yes. So clearly you've seen the Kevin Nash Will Ospreay back and forth on Twitter, right?
I haven't. The only thing I saw was when he was like, "Oh, he had all these 5-star matches," and Kevin Nash was just like, "What his merchandise sells like, though."
Yeah.
Facts.
I mean, look, a 5-star match doesn't get you extra money in the envelope at the end of the night. But what does
Right.
is selling that merch. You know,
exactly.
Right? And selling them tickets. I mean, look at MJF right now. MJF, and this just might be my opinion. I think MJF's one of the best in the business right now.
He is one of the best in the business.
He said on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, he said he doesn't give a shit about star ratings. If it's a byproduct of what he does, fantastic. But all he cares about is making money, putting on good matches, and fucking bitches. That's all he wants. That's all he cares about. I mean,
as he should. That's all he should care about.
Exactly. Yeah. And the fact is, I see. This is where you and me are kind of on the same playing field, because I get into, I shouldn't, but I get into these arguments with people to the point where it's like, they're like, oh man, WWE sucks. I hate this thing. This storyline's horrible. This, that. And in my head, I'm thinking, why the fuck are you watching it? If you don't like it so much, why are you watching it? Here's the excuse. Well, I don't watch it. I just watch the highlights. That's still
you
watching
still watch
it.
it.
Yeah,
You're
still
watching
consuming
it.
content.
You're still watching it. Like,
yeah, they're still making money off of.
What people don't understand, and that I said it in a video I did last night, is the people who are on Twitter complaining about WWE or AEW. You are the minority of their fan bases. You are not the majority. The majority of their fan bases have been watching, especially WWE, have been watching WWE week in, week out, show up to the shows, buy the tickets, buy the merchandise, all this. They love WWE and what WWE has been doing and what they're going to continue to do. AEW has their core fan base. They know who their fan base is. They cater to that fan base, as you should.
Yeah.
Right.
And then anybody else, you come in, you learn, you find somebody that you like, and you roll from there. But the entirety of the product is not for you. Find the thing within the product that you enjoy and enjoy that. You're not gonna like every wrestler on the roster. You're not gonna like every storyline on the roster. But find a storyline on that show, get wrapped into it, get worked by it, and have a good day. But this constant going back and forth with each other, like, Tony Khan's not gonna fuck you. Triple H and Stephanie are not going to run a train on you, dog. It's not going to happen. They're not going to pick you. They don't care. They care about you up until the amount, whether you're going to watch the damn show and you're going to make them some goddamn money. Yep. But even if you don't watch the show and make them some damn money, they're going to make money somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So if y'all watching, listening to this podcast, don't play yourself, bro. Get worked by what's going on television or what's going on, and leave it at that. We don't need everybody being a critic of wrestling. Because last thing I'm going to say about this, majority of the time, y'all have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea what you are talking about, but y'all be talking about it like y'all are experts on it. Okay, you've been watching professional wrestling. Cool. That's one side. That's one perspective. There's a whole other perspective when you've booked professional wrestling, and there's a whole other perspective when you've actually done it.
Right.
These two right here, booking it and doing it, are way heavier than watching it. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
I heard this one guy tell me one time, he was like, oh man, I've watched professional wrestling my whole life. I know what's going on. Oh really? I look at the moon every night before I go to sleep. That don't make me a fucking astronaut. Nope. So, so there you go.
Only when you eat space cake, right?
Exactly. Wait, what now? I don't know what you're talking about, man.
I gotta tweet that. Get worked. Just get worked. Shut up and get worked.
No, see, that's we've had so many wrestling rants, I guess, on this, but we do it from the perspective of us and our experience. Because I've said it before, and it's funny that so many people are saying now, but there's no such thing as a casual fan. The people who are watching wrestling have, like you said, have been watching it for years. And the ones that try to dig into it are such a minority, but they fuck it up for everybody else.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, I won't say that there's not casual fans. There's definitely fans that come to shows, because it's the thing going on, or their friends like, hey, I'm going to this wrestling show or whatever. WWE has those fans or whatever. there's some people in the crowd or whatever. Actually, no, I'm just gonna fucking say it. There's some women in the crowd that are hot as fuck, and you're like, are they really wrestling fans or are they not, or whatever? Are they here to see somebody or are they not, or whatever? I'm sure a lot of those women in the crowd, some of them are definitely wrestling fans, but some of them are just there to see be entertained or whatever. They're not gonna be like, oh, he threw that punch and it didn't fully connect. It's so fake, man. It's so fake. No, they're gonna be like, oh my god, that was so exciting, or whatever. They're not paying attention to those little things. They're trying to be entertained by what is going on the show. So yeah, these wrestling fans will be on Twitter like, oh my god, Tony Khan didn't do this, or they brought in Mance Warner, but they didn't tell us about Mance Warner. Those motherfuckers is ruining wrestling for everybody. They need to.
And at this point, my thing is when he announced somebody like the Mance Warner thing. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say just to kind of in that same vein is they're the minority of the wrestling fans, but they're the vocal majority because most of us, we just watch and we want to be entertained and we're not on Twitter. We like, just throwing our opinion out there. But then you have that minority of people who that's all they do. So people look at that and they're like, oh, that's how all wrestling fans are. No, that's like 1, maybe 2% of wrestling fans.
They're making us all look bad.
Yep.
Do you think also in that same vein, going back to what we talked about a minute ago, and I've said this to Chip and Roger many times, I think that professional wrestling fans nowadays, maybe not before, maybe not 10, 20 years ago, but nowadays they become a little bit more cynical to the idea of professional wrestling because it's a harder crowd to play to. And I think that the internet and the information age has opened the door of exposing the business to such a degree that it's almost as if like, okay, no one takes it seriously anymore because it's been exposed so much. But people don't allow themselves to be immersed into it. They don't, even though you can say it's a work, it's scripted, it's make believe, it's predetermined, whatever phraseology you want to use. If at any point you get so hooked into watching this program that you're on the edge of your seat wondering what's going to happen next, it's doing its job.
I think it's insane that we as professional wrestlers have to continuously justify what we do to the public.
Amen.
Okay? I tell you that I'm a professional wrestler. If your reaction is not, oh, that's fucking badass, I don't want to hear your fucking reaction. If you're about to tell me, oh, that fake stuff, I'm like, nigga, like you watch television every day. Does Brad Pitt, when Brad Pitt tells you that he's an actor, because I'm sure there's people who don't know who the fuck Brad Pitt is, because we think that celebrities are famous, but they're really not that fucking famous. Same thing with professional wrestlers; they're not that. We're no professional wrestlers that famous. I think CM Punk said it. Just because you're famous for professional wrestling doesn't mean you're famous. But to get back to my point, if Brad Pitt has to tell somebody, "Oh, I'm Brad Pitt" or whatever, it's like, "Oh, I'm an actor," do you think that person's like, "Oh, you do that fake stuff"? Like, no. Oh shit, you're an actor. What movies did you do? Let me get into this. Let me figure out, who you are and the cool shit that you do. It should be the same with professional wrestling. Oh, you're a professional wrestler? That's dope as hell. I used to watch that on television. Oh, does it really, like, when people ask me, oh, does it really hurt? Then yeah, that shit fucking hurts. It's fucking painful. But I hate when people react, oh, the fake stuff. I'm like, you would you like to come? Would you like to come and try it out, like, and see if it's fake or not? Like, predetermined matches, predetermined winners don't make shit fake. I mean,
No.
I'm under the belief that all sports are fucking work at this point. How the fuck you been playing football your entire fucking life, and you're playing another team, and you just start making the weirdest mistakes on the planet or whatever? Like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Why not give it?
People don't want to hear that.
No,
they don't
want to hear that.
He's a conspiracy theorist. It's not a conspiracy.
No.
Well, Ricky Morton said it best. Ricky Morton said it best. When you have billions upon billions of dollars invested in something, everything is controlled.
Yep.
I mean,
yep. My answer to people when they say fake stuff, I was always like, okay, so that guy's 7 foot tall. And if he picks me up and throws me up over his head, that's another, what, 2.5, 3 foot, and then slams me to the ground. Like, even if I know how to properly fall, that shit still fucking hurts. That's not fake.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yes, I might know who's going to win the match in the end, but that doesn't mean that me taking that fall from 8, 9 feet in the air is fucking fake.
Right. Anybody who watches The Walking Dead can tell you zombies aren't real, you know. But I mean,
I don't know. Have you been to Florida?
Well,
go about that guy from Miami.
Florida's its own realm. Florida's its own realm.
Florida is like the best.
That's a portal.
Sci-fi section of the world.
Florida's the gates of hell. What are you talking about?
Pretty much, really, it is. Really, it is. It's just like at this point, like I mean, I've heard like people within the business say, "Yeah, it's fake." Okay, cool, great, fucking awesome, nigga. We still gonna go out here, fight each other, make some fucking money, and yo ass gonna sit in this motherfucking seat, and you gonna be fucking entertained. Okay, bitch, shut your ass up.
There's only one thing you need to say when they say all that fake shit. Say, "Hey, we're going to Duff City."
Yeah,
number 400. Run that shit. I'll show you fake real quick.
Right. Dolph Ziggler also had a pretty cool reaction. They said, "It's like, what do you tell people when they tell you wrestling's fake?" And he goes, "Money's not fake."
Money's not fake, bro.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. So, but anyway, yeah. So we go back now that I got everybody's blood pressure up. Let's kind of come back down a little bit. Get a Zantac or something. Wait, that's for heart. Never mind.
Actually, I have one more thing.
Okay.
And it's not a thing to raise blood pressure. I don't know why we continue to say that the business is being exposed, because the cat has been out of the bag since before I even knew what wrestling was.
Jack Pfeffer, pre-World War II.
Yeah. He let the cat out the bag. But people have been still watching professional wrestling even after knowing that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether you think the wrestling itself is real or fake. It doesn't fucking matter. Wrestling has saved so many people's lives. Like it's insane. It's really crazy to think about how many lives wrestling has saved, because you can watch this product and get invested in somebody, relate to a character, get invested in their story, and like that can give you the will to live. That's real. That's real. So when people say that it's fake because there's winners already predetermined, we don't give a fuck. I'm out here saving people's lives out here, with also destroying my body. So I'm good, bro.
Right. Absolutely. So let's round it back on to you before you, like when we talked about for MLW, before we got back to that, Chip was talking about you going to places outside your comfort zone. You said that it kind of blended in or anything like that. Yeah, do that.
We get it. You're strong. Shit.
Yes. Yeah. Going around like a damn rag doll. It's insane. But then we go to War Chamber 2021. November 6th, 2021 at the 2300 Arena, otherwise known as the world famous ECW Arena. Before we actually get to the actual event, what was it like for you to be in that arena?
The very first time when I walked in there, I felt, when I walked out on stage, for the very first match, I felt at home. Like I didn't feel like out of place or anything like that. I felt like this is where I need to be. And then just being in the arena is just dope as fuck. The amount of like history and stuff that has gone on in that building is crazy. So to be there was definitely a blessing. It was definitely a blessing.
Yeah. And then you kick off the night in a 5-way ladder match for the vacant MLW National Openweight Championship. You, Alex Shelley, Myron Reed, Zenshi, and ACH. Explain the thought process that you have, because this is, and this just might be just my opinion, this is legit like the biggest match of your life at this point.
Oh yeah.
What was your thought process going into that match?
Man, I hope I don't fall off this goddamn ladder onto the floor. There's like barely any padding out here. Like, I hope I don't slip on this bitch. Like, I hope I don't die in this motherfucking match. I done made it all the way here or whatever, and then I'm going to just die in this ladder match. Like, no, that was the thing going through my fucking head because like, there's no way to prepare for a ladder match. Like, you still like for each match that you have coming up, you got to prepare. You're preparing what you might do, what you gonna do, how you gonna do it. And this ladder match, I'm like, nigga, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna throw motherfuckers, but like this ladder, like this. What if this shit rock and fall over? You know, it's crazy. I was a nervous wreck. I could barely add input for like the first like 30 minutes when we was putting it together. I was like, man, I don't know what should I do? What should I do?
I mean, Myron's pretty easy to throw, though, right?
Yeah, he is. It's very, very easy. I don't have to throw him anymore because he's on my squad now. But he's
right.
um, Bomaye. But yeah, the match was the match. Once I was able to like calm down and really like and breathe and think about everything and realize that I'm gonna be safe. Um, uh, I was like, this is fucking exciting because that was my first ever ladder match. Never went near a ladder at any other point in my fucking career or whatever. That was the very first time. So for that to be the very first time that I was in a ladder match and to win that match and to be put in the position that I was, nobody can take it from me. The second national openweight champion in MLW history. The first black one too.
There you go.
Now it's on David Richards' bitch ass.
Let's say, and then you go 229 days before Battle Riot 4, which that was a damn good battle that you guys had. I mean, the 13 minutes of just 13 minutes of just amazing wrestling. What was it like being in the ring with Davey at that moment?
Man, okay, so the first match that we had in Philly, I was nervous as fuck. One, he didn't get there until like two matches before or whatever, that we actually went out and wrestled. So that's one thing. So I'm nervous as fuck. I'm like, what the fuck? And then on top of that, I'm like, I gotta prove myself to Davey Richards. It's Davey Richards, guys. It's Davey Richards. He's the fucking man. So I gotta prove myself. So I also got that on top of that. So I was nervous as fuck in that first match. And I didn't do as well as I didn't perform as well as I could have, even though it was still a good match. So in the second match that we had in New York at Battle Riot 4, that it was like, okay, I'm not here to fucking prove myself to you, my dude. I'm here. I'm the guy, and I'm about to show you why they put the belt on me. So in that match, it was more of like, and how do I put this? And that match was more
was you proving yourself. This
match was like, I'm showing you why the fuck I'm here.
Right.
Feel me, bitch.
Yes.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
All
so
right,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Roger.
No, go ahead. We might ask the same questions. Go ahead.
I was going to steer away from wrestling for a minute, but you go ahead.
I was going to ask, what so far has been your favorite feud or rivalry in MLW?
For myself, it hasn't happened yet. I mean, the feud with Calvin was cool, but I do wish that we had more chances to just wrestle instead of everything being like super like, oh, I hurt his knee or whatever. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm a heel. I got to do dastardly bullshit. But like, I wish I probably got that time to like actually like have like a full on match with him. I feel like that could have added much more to the story instead of it just being like me just fucking him at every turn because we never got that payoff. But it hasn't happened yet. I don't know what the feud between me and Davey holds. Hopefully it's longer than me just losing the belt to him and then just falling back somewhere. Hopefully that goes somewhere. But if this becomes like a lengthy feud, it will probably be my favorite one. Working with Davey's a lot of fun, even though he a bitch ass nigga for taking my belt. You can bleep that N word part if you need to. But I said what I said.
No, we gonna let you
We're
say
not
what you
filtered here.
say. Yeah,
Yeah, we're not filtered here.
No filters.
I say whatever the fuck I want. So,
right.
Yeah. All right. So I want to steer away from wrestling. Just for a few minutes. What other interests do you have other than wrestling? I mean,
Definitely video games. I just got I think like last week I just got done playing through Hitman 1, 2, and 3 because they have a little trilogy thing on Xbox.
yes.
I thoroughly enjoy that game. And also to go back into wrestling just for half a second or whatever. Like
No.
I've learned that I can take a little bit from Agent 47 and apply that to my character. But back to interest. Video games, fucking really. Video games really my only other interest besides like the fitness, working out. But I'm not like I'm not like a health nut or anything like that. I just enjoy working out. Um,
Do you like comics, anime, shit like that, or no?
no. Never really got into anime. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I just have not found the time to like sit down and like try to get into something. My older brother is heavy into it. Probably not as heavy since now he has a child. But before that, he was pretty heavy into it. I think one of some of my favorites growing up as a kid was Fifth of the North Star. Because he would punch people and they blow up, and the shit was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Um, I think Inuyasha is I think that's anime. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean Dragon Ball Z, of course. If you didn't watch Dragon Ball Z growing up, then you can't be trusted.
Right.
Yeah, we get it. You're a nerd. Sit down. Oh, you're flexing on us.
But yeah, I think
Don't worry about
I
it.
think that's
Most
about
of my
the extent of anime that I've watched or gotten into.
okay.
All right. So I'm going to ask you this question because you said you was a big fan of video games. In your humble opinion, what is the greatest console ever?
Hmm.
I mean, there's no wrong answer. It's just, your
I
opinion.
think the original Xbox, the graphics were all right for their time, but the things that you could do with the original Xbox, pretty fucking dope. You could put your own music on there. You could play your music
Yep.
while you're playing the game. If you had
Yep.
like Raw, no, the first Raw you couldn't do that shit. But Raw 2, if you wanted to put your own music in like the game playing it or whatever, that was fucking awesome.
Yep.
So yeah, for me, the original Xbox.
Awesome. What's some of your favorite games that you played growing up?
Fucking Donkey Kong 64, Bomberman. That game was a lot of fucking fun. I can't find
Right.
that game anymore because I've put it on like an emulator or something. I can't find the exact game. Um, Kirby was always fun. Sucking people
Right.
up, taking their powers, fucking people up. That was always fun.
Yes.
Zelda, Majora's Mask, and also the Ocarina of Time. Never beat them.
Which
Never
one's your
beat.
favorite one?
Which one
I
was
think
better?
Majora's Mask is probably the most fun.
Yeah.
Because you have so many different like masks to put on and so many different like abilities. And then also the challenge of um you know what is you have to collect all the masks
To get the Fierce Deity mask.
to get the fierce deity mask or whatever, but like pretty much the race against time or whatever
Yep.
is a cool thing. Me and my brothers, one day we just sat down or whatever. My older brother mainly playing it, and we just like together like beat the game or whatever, just to fucking do it.
So I'm going to assume you played also some wrestling video games as well.
Yeah, I think the first game I played was Warzone. That was the very first
okay.
wrestling game I played was Warzone on the
game was
64.
terrible.
It was ass. And
It
then the
was
second one I
bad.
played, yeah, really bad. The second one I played was Attitude, which wasn't much better.
No, it
Um,
wasn't.
and then I played the SmackDown, some of the games from the SmackDown series. And then I got to play WrestleMania 2, No Mercy and WrestleMania 2000. I like WrestleMania 2000 better. No Mercy's hard for no fucking reason. This shit is annoying. It really is fucking annoying.
Right.
And then when my first game that I bought was Shut Your Mouth. That was the first game that I bought myself. Warzone and Attitude were given to me, but Shut Your Mouth was the first game that I bought myself. And I play the fuck out of. I play the fuck out of that game.
Is there a specific genre that you like to play, like action, platform?
I like MMO RPGs because it's always fun to like create something and like go through a story. But other than that, shooter games like not first person shooters are fine, but games if they had, I wish they had more games like Hitman. Not exactly being a hitman, but just more games like that. I enjoy
like stealth shooters.
Stealth shooters or whatever. You get to like have different disguises and fuck people up and find new ways to fuck people up.
Right.
Did you ever play the Metal Gear series?
No. My twin brother played it. Oh, I used to watch him play that game a lot. Fucking what is the game? It was a ninja. It was a ninja. What's the fuck is his name? Ninja Gaiden. Yes, he used to play the fuck out that game too.
Hold on.
Yeah, the game's hard as fuck.
I'm out. We're not gonna brush over that like you did. You have a twin brother?
Yeah, twin brother. Yeah, yeah. No, fraternal twins. Fraternal twins.
Okay. Oh, I was gonna say because my next question was gonna be, is he interested?
Are you really
in
Alex Kane?
No. It would have been, is he interested in wrestling? Because there's this great fucking gimmick y'all can do. Like, he doesn't even have to wrestle at all. He just wins all the matches. You take all the punishment, and he just wins them.
Nah, he's like 6. I think he's like 6 foot or 6'1", like 280 or whatever. So we're definitely not doing any twin magic or any. But yeah, he when we were kids was like, yeah, we're gonna be a tag team, and then he grew out of wrestling.
Man,
that was most of the kids in my family growing up.
Damn. Somebody intruding?
Fucking dogs.
You got to bring the glizzy out?
Glizzy goblins.
Oh Lord. That damn dog barks at everything.
Honestly, I wonder what the fuck dogs be saying. Like they just be barking at everything. Are you mad? Are you sad? Are you excited? Like what the fuck's going on here? What are you fucking saying?
Normally when the dog's going like, okay, he wants to come in the house, and he's like, okay, he's hungry, and he stares at you for 50 minutes like, okay, he wants to fuck me up. I might punch him. I don't know.
Damn, don't say that too loud. I ain't trying to get canceled for people punching dogs now.
Hey, Peter, I got 3 words for you: chicken fried steak. All right, I quit being mean now. Go ahead.
I was like, I'm not talking on this animal abuse here.
No. I love all animals.
Yeah, chicken heads included.
Oh Lord! All right.
What are the pigeons? Is that what the song was?
No,
those chicken heads.
No, the other one. You know how TLC did the no scrubs? What was it? No pigeons.
Yeah. Yes. All right.
I forgot that was a thing that you said something.
No, I did not. I knew exactly where he was going with it. All right. So, favorite genre of music?
You already know. It's hip hop.
All right. If it wasn't hip hop, what would it be?
I like some metal. I like some metal. I have some metal in my playlist.
You got a metal inspired merch too, like
I do. But that was less of me and more of a photographer that took a really really dope picture of me, and he was like, "This, if I could make your name death metal, it'd be amazing." So I was like, "Yeah, do that."
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
What any particular metal band that you listen to?
Oh, the I don't. Is Suicide Silence considered metal?
Yes.
Okay, so that was the very first band that I listened to. It
That's my
was
shit.
No
That's my
Pity
shit,
for a Coward is the first song that I heard.
bro.
And at first
Yes.
I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" But the more I listened to it, like, "Yo, this is just kind of fucking fire. This is fire."
The first song I ever heard by Suicide Silence was "Bludgeon to Death," and I literally found it by accident. Like I'm a fan of like they're in the subgenre called deathcore,
Uh-huh.
and deathcore is like Whitechapel, Thy Art Is Murder, Impending Doom, and I've been a fan of Impending Doom forever because they're the first Christian death metal band that I've ever heard. So I got into them, and then that's when I
How you Christian and death metal? Like, how does that work? What the fuck are you yelling about?
I mean,
Praise of the Lord. I mean,
sometimes you got to go to the source, man. That's all I'm saying. Uh, but nevertheless, that's when I heard Suicide Silence, the song "Bludgeon to Death," and that hooked me. Then I heard No Pity for a Coward. Then I heard Green Monster, and next thing I know, I got the Cleansing record. Somebody burned me a copy. Listened to the whole thing on repeat for like 6 hours. I was like, yeah, this is my shit, you know. Then No Time to Bleed came out literally 6 months later, and I was like, yeah, that's my shit too, you know. And then Black Crown, I think Black Crown's their best record ever. And then Mitch Lucker, died in a motorcycle accident in 2013. That one hit me hard, dude, because I was like, golly. And then Eddie Hernandez came over from All Shall Perish and became their new lead singer. And it's okay. It's just it ain't the same anymore. Like there's certain bands that have a certain sound, have a certain guitar player can define a sound, or a certain singer can define a band. Like Drowning Pool is like they revolve, singers all the time. They've had like 5 singers in 6 years or whatever. But yeah, I mean, like that one hurt me. Kyle Pavone from We Came as Romans passing away hurt me. So yeah, that one got to me. But aside from metal, what hip hop do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy more of like the old school 90s hip hop? Do you enjoy the new stuff? How do you feel about that?
I mainly enjoy the new stuff. Like
Okay.
when I'm at the gym, like some of like the older guys will play like some of the older stuff, and like I'll hear something that like, oh shit, I like that. Like I'd heard They Reminisce Over You several times, never knew what the fuck it was, but once I actually heard it a few days ago, I was like, oh, this is fucking fire. I had
The
to add this to my fucking
Sheetrock, yep.
playlist.
God,
This
that
is
Yep.
song is
fucking
so
awesome.
good.
Yep. I
Um,
first heard that on the Streets Volume 2.
Yep.
That was it right there.
So,
So
who's your like
go ahead.
favorite current artist then?
Key Glock. Key Glock. I only really started listening to Young Dolph after he died. And I'm sad that that's how I came into listening to Young Dolph, but he's also a favorite of mine now.
Yeah, that did suck. I mean, we did an episode about all that about him, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like right after it happened too. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a huge fan of Dolph. My brother is. That he got me on him when he was still selling mixtapes at the trunk, and that shit was crazy to think he got so big in such a fast time.
Yeah.
Kind of like me.
Yeah,
There you
Right.
go.
Right. Um.
but hopefully you don't get the same thing
No,
like he
no,
did.
no. Definitely won't be getting the same.
No. No. No.
Ain't
No.
nobody
No.
about to kill me over wrestling.
I don't know. Dave
Oh,
Meltzer got shit in
they've
these streets.
Yo, Alex K was talking. Alex K was talking spicy. Hey, yo, I'm sending my shooters out.
He said Glizzy Glock gained
Glizzy
armed
Glock, click clack,
assault.
bitch.
Click clack. Hit you with the tink tink, got you running.
All right. All right. I got to ask it. I told myself I wouldn't, but did you
Oh
hear
no.
the game diss Eminem? Have you heard that track?
I have not. I have
Okay.
You
not heard
shouldn't.
it.
You
Never mind.
shouldn't.
Stay away from it then.
Yeah.
It's 10 minutes of
So bad.
him. It's a 10-minute love letter to Eminem where he essentially tries to diss him but fails at all fucking avenues.
Damn.
He legit should have started the song with "Dear Slim, I meant to dish you more, but you still ain't calling." Like, I mean, it might as well have been
It was
that,
bad.
you know? Yeah, it was, and
It was.
I'm a
It
fan of
was.
Game, but
It was Little B bad.
Oh wow.
I don't know about that. I mean,
Waterfront
B was
400.
stop, 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 stop.
He came out and said, "I'm gonna fuck your bitch, Little B style."
Oh God.
Do hip hop beefs
That's
interest you?
wild.
What?
Huh?
Do hip hop beefs interest you? Like do you find
No.
them interesting?
No, I think hip hop beefs are fucking stupid, and I think they're dumb because you guys, majority of the time, you're rapping to make it out of a certain situation. Majority of the time, it's not a great situation, or whatever. Your family's poor, you're living in poverty, so you're rapping. You finally make it out of that situation, and instead of changing your life or following a new path, you're still trying to live in the streets while also um being on this bigger platform where you could do so much more with this platform, but you decide to still hit licks and have beef with a bunch of other motherfuckers in the same position when y'all could really just talk this shit out over a drink, or y'all could just fight it out or whatever. Somebody wins, and then go get a fucking beer afterward, or go fuck a a, a, a video vixen. Something you could be in something way more than shooting each other. It's stupid.
So
The most
I
immature motherfuckers on the planet.
I, I
Some of
find
the
them interesting.
smartest.
Yes, I find hip hop beefs interesting to the point of like it creates a lot of good music.
Hmm.
Because I think personally, I think diss tracks are really good as long as they stay diss tracks and they don't
Hmm.
go to the street.
Yeah, like when rap, well, like there was that period of time. I can't remember who it was. I think it was 50 Cent or whatever. I can't remember who the other artist was. Uh,
Game or Ja
yeah,
Rule?
yeah, it might have been Ja Rule, but like they were competing against each other or whatever, and they were both releasing music. Ja Rule's music is Ja Rule's music, but 50 Cent was out here releasing bangers. Like that's good. Competing against each other is good. I like that. Competing
Yeah,
Yeah.
against each other. Who can sell the most albums? Who can make the best music? Do that. But all this street hood shit, leave that shit alone.
I
Yeah,
think that shit
all the
really
street shit, man.
started.
That's why Nipsey,
Go ahead.
that's why Nipsey got, hit. That's why, you know, that's how Proof, got. That's how Biggie and Pac died, like over some dumb hip hop shit.
We know that was the feds. What are you talking about?
That
That
was
The
was
the
the
Feds was
feds.
feds.
Tupac. That was
Yeah.
Tupac. Biggie, I don't know. It definitely the Feds. No, Suge was Tupac. Uh,
And the
I,
feds.
In the
and
feds,
the
yeah.
Feds too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um.
Easy E was the government. Um,
Now Easy E just because he
what?
couldn't wrap his shit up. Uh.
Yeah.
But no, I really think like that the modern version of hip hop feuds where you've got to always go to the street started with Biggie and Pac. Because
Yeah.
before that you just had you had motherfuckers lyrically murdering other people. But that was it. Like they would spit a rhyme and the fans would be like, "Oh, the motherfucker right there, he just
Well,
killed him."
I think then there was more storytelling in music. I was talking about this with somebody else. There's no storytelling in music now. People are just putting on a cool beat or whatever, and like, yeah, you're still rhyming words together, but you're not telling a story. You're just talking about women, drugs, guns, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You're not telling a story. Like um with Pac and Biggie and fucking oh, I don't even know why Exhibit came to my mind, but even him, KRS-One, like fucking Wayne, fucking 50, fucking Game, like all of these guys, Eminem, they told stories with their music. That's why you loved it so much. It wasn't just, oh, this sounds catchy or whatever. They were actually telling stories. You could actually learn something about them from listening to their music. The music nowadays, it's just, oh, this sounds cool. This is catchy. Somebody can dance to this, which is cool. Make your fucking money. But like, I think that's it even applies to wrestling. Like guys aren't telling stories anymore, um,
They're just
and
doing moves.
they're just doing moves. And the thing that like a lot of older people, older cats aren't doing on either in either industry is they're not trying to like teach the younger guys, or maybe they are and they're just rejecting it. But like it feels like they're not trying to teach them like, hey, you can still do this catchy shit, or with wrestlers you can still do all these moves, but you can do it in a way where a story is being told, and you'll
Right.
save your body or you'll save your hand or mind or whatever the fuck an artist would save time, I guess. And you could tell a story and get so much more out of that telling that story than just releasing music or just having matches.
I'm right there with you on that 100%.
Right.
My some of my favorite music, and I do like the what the fuck is out here? Sorry, there's
They got
someone
is that
literally
Meltzer's boys out there?
they
Yeah,
must
The
be.
Melted boys done
click
showed
clack,
up.
motherfucker.
Hey,
Glizzy gang out there
they're
already.
finna get me. But some of my favorite music is when there's a story being told. When you can sit and listen to it and just like close your eyes and like be in that moment and envision the that that whole thing is happening from beginning to end in a song. It's
Yeah.
like that's the shit that I like.
Yeah.
So I guess
Somebody talk.
we'll take it back to wrestling real quick then. Um, who is someone you want to work with in MLW right now?
Jacob Fatu.
Oh yeah, the killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yes.
match would be crazy. That match would be
I would.
crazy.
Yes.
I'd definitely love to see that shit.
That match
Absolutely.
would be crazy.
Absolutely. All right. I'll one up that question with who's a pro wrestler that you want to wrestle any company?
Josh Alexander, because I was supposed
Oh
to have that
yeah.
match
Yeah.
Oh,
and they got taken
please.
away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to wrestle Alex Coughlin. He seems like a swell human being, and he's really really strong.
Right. Right. Um, aside from just regular just wrestling, are you a big fan of tag team wrestling as well?
I am getting into it. Definitely was not my first love, but I am definitely getting into it. I'm definitely trying to understand it more.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am involved in two tag team. Well, the captain of a fight team, and then I'm tagging with Shug D and Kevin Ryan. So I'm gonna have to fall
Awesome.
in love with tag team wrestling real quick.
Yeah.
Eh,
The Brainbusters, Rock and Roll Express, Midnight Express, FTR, just that's just throwing them out there, just to throw them
You
out
know,
there.
I watched FTR the revival in fucking like NXT, and like they're so good, it's kind of hard to follow. Like how like
Yeah.
why like there's so many moving parts, and it's like how the fuck do y'all do this?
Right.
I-
Those guys are fucking geniuses. They're the best at it.
The match they
yeah,
had with American Alpha at NXT Dallas was amazing.
Fucking yeah, amazing match.
Yeah.
there is a
One day.
whole different dynamic to tag team wrestling. Like people don't really understand. Like they think that tag team wrestling is easy. But as a guy who was in a tag team for most of his career, I think tag team wrestling is harder to do because you have
Definitely, because there's so many moving parts.
right. So there's four guys who are all trying to be on the same page, tell the same story, and it's how to make these two guys and these two guys flow together to get to that ending point, you know.
Hmm.
I feel like singles wrestling is really easy to do because it's just me and you, and we have this one story, and I don't have to worry about the guy that I've got to tag in or the guy he's got to tag in. It's just focus on us.
Yeah, like tag team wrestling is like fuck. See, it's that hard because I lost my whole fucking train of thought. Man, it is, but even with it being a lot, it's still a lot of fun.
Of
Oh yeah.
course.
This is what I was gonna say. I feel like a lot of wrestling, like a lot of tag teams that I've seen, even like when I was tagging with Damian Tangra in action, um, the the enough not enough people work the gimmick of the tag match. There's like a few tags here and there, but they wrestle it like like it's a singles match
Yeah.
instead of it
Right.
being a tag
Fact.
match. You should be
It's
making as many tags as fucking possible.
right.
But to me, I
Right.
can't wrap my head around like how do I make this work, but also get to these different points and stuff like that. Not
You
there yet.
what you want to do is you don't want to end up giving what is called fuck you heat. And
Yeah.
what I mean by fuck you heat is, kind of like when you're like, hey, I have this object. Do you want it? And they go to get it and they pull it away. You're, creating heat. You want to do it again? Okay, here. Nope, pulled it away again. You do it too many times, it's like, fuck you, I don't want to play anymore. But then you
Hmm.
finally give it to them, they feel like it's a reward. That's the way a tag team match is supposed to be. If the heels are getting it on one of the baby faces, what good is it to get his ass beat for 7 straight minutes and then finally make a tag with nothing in between there? Like no quick hope, reach for the tag, cut him off, you know, another quick hope, go to reach for a tag, you can't make it, so you knock the other guy off the apron, and there's different ways about going about it. And I feel like what you just said, working the gimmick of the tag team match, it's almost like a completely different psychology altogether.
Yeah, yeah,
Even
yeah.
though it's still in the same vein of professional wrestling, the psychology of it is completely different. But like what Chip was talking about earlier, you have 4 guys in the ring. We all have to be on the same page. We all have to come to an agreement. Okay, this is what we're going to do here. And you don't want to make anybody look like shit, but
Hmm.
also at the same time, the babyface, one of you guys has got to take the heat.
Yep.
Me and Chip would literally fight over who got to take heat. Like, no, I'm taking heat. No, I'm taking heat, because it's just, I don't know what it is about the comeback. The comeback sometimes will wear you out, because you got all these different moving parts about that.
Yes.
Coming
Yes.
in off the hot tag wears you out quicker than just being the one taking, because you can basically rest the whole time, and then when you come back in later, then it's like, okay, fire up, go ahead. And it's like, motherfucker, I hate you. I know, work.
Like
It was a constant battle between us every week.
the thing that I learned from what is this man's name? He's one of the ugly ducklings, but it's not
Rob
Carino.
Killjoy.
Rob
Killjoy.
Killjoy?
Killjoy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me and
Yeah.
Damien did a tag match one time, and he was like, the hot tag should have been longer." And I'm like, "What do you mean it should have been longer?" It's like it was already a lot, but he was like, the way he kind of broke it down was like, if your teammate has been getting his ass kicked this entire time and he just makes the tag there or whatever, he's gonna need that time to rest. So you gotta you gotta go balls to the wall. You gotta he was just saying like you could put both guys in both corners and just ping pong it or whatever, and then get to the meat and potatoes of the hot tag. But just going straight in, bump something, put one guy down, and then you hit a move, and then you get to that pinfall, he kicks out, and then going to something with your teammate kind of like kills it, because it kind of, this guy just got his ass kicked the entire time. Why is just him being down for a minute or two enough for him to just be fresh again?
No,
Yeah, we see that a lot
he's
in
accurate.
tag team wrestling now.
Yeah, absolutely. Because most of that time, whenever you make the tag, like I said, you've been taking heat for like 6-7 minutes. You make that tag, chances are you're probably not going to be back involved with the match until maybe maybe the heels maybe hit a double team or something, 1-2, last second, maybe you make a save, but that's it.
Hmm.
And then you gradually work yourself up, maybe hit something out of desperation, counter, double team the heels, something along those. And again, there's multiple. See, and another reason why tag team wrestling, in my opinion, is such a great art form is because you can take it several different directions, and literally you can wrestle the same team. Like, just say, for example, me and Chip wrestled this team. We can have seven matches, and we can come up with 7 different endings. We can come up with 7 different hot tags. We can come up with 7 different starts. Because tag team wrestling is one of those art forms where it can be adaptable to everybody who's involved with the match. And
Man, I've always wanted to do a tag
so
team match where I'd start the fucking hot tag on the outside, but no one ever has padding, so I can't be throwing people on the outside. I'm not
Can.
I'm not suplexing people on the outside because I also got to hit the ground, and that sucks. The only time I suplex someone on the outside is like, yeah, we have to do this. Come on, let's do this. All right, okay, whatever.
It's a big show, man.
Big show, man.
Yeah, man. Unless the promoter says, "Hey, man, the door's light tonight," then I guess you ain't getting 100%. I'm just kidding.
The door's light. Oh man, look like this match turned to 5 minutes.
Hey, these turnbuckle pads looking pretty sweet. I might take them home with me.
Damn, you robbing them?
Damn, bro.
Hold on.
Promoter about to be like, clank, clank.
Oh, I never did that, but I've heard stories of people who have done that.
I have.
Makes sense.
I had
You taking pads?
Well, I started to. Here's the thing. I had a guarantee. I get my pay envelope. It's like a third of what our guarantee was supposed to be, and I went to the promoter and was like, "Hey, we talked X. You gave me Y. Brother, the house was light tonight or whatnot." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I go start taking the ring apart, and I threw like 2 turnbuckles in my bag. And he was like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" I was like, well, I mean, you still owe me like $75, and I got to recoup. I got to recoup my money somehow. And like 10 minutes later, he came back with my extra money, and I was like, "Oh, here, you can have your shit back now." But I mean,
there was a promoter
You thought she was about to not give me my money? What do you think this is?
It only
there was a
happened
promoter
once.
up in
Word
Kentucky
got
that
around
did that. Like,
he'll take your shit.
I don't know. Again, I don't know how true this is, but there was a promoter in Kentucky who stiffed like a whole bunch of guys. This 2 wrestlers literally locked this motherfucker in a room and said, "You ain't leaving this room till everybody here gets their money." He was in that room for 5.5 hours.
I would have taken the ring.
Oh, everybody got their money. Everybody got their money. Everybody got their money.
Yeah, I have heard that story.
Yeah. The horror stories of indie wrestling.
Those are the best parts.
Yeah, right? Man.
All right. Now that we said that though, what's some funny shit you've ever done on the road? Like, what's a fun road trip story you'd like to tell?
How many Waffle Houses have you fought in?
I haven't fought in any. I don't really have any funny. I don't really have any funny road stories. There's one story that I'm not gonna tell, but yeah, no.
Okay, how about interesting? It doesn't necessarily have to be funny, but interesting.
I really don't have any. I mean, normally, like, I don't really travel with anybody. That's the thing. Like, I don't really travel with anybody. I'm normally always traveling alone. But I don't really get into much. I just show up, do my job, and go the fuck home.
Is it more peaceful to go alone in that regard?
Like, yeah, most of the time. Straight? Like, yeah. My wife thinks that it's more dangerous to go by yourself because, like, what if you get tired? But it's like there was a period of time where I would get sleepy driving, but like it hasn't happened like in years. I'd rather go by myself. I can listen to whatever music I want to listen to. I can do whatever the fuck I want or whatever. As long as I get from point A to point B, I'm good.
Awesome.
Yeah. The only people I've ever really traveled with is Talon, of course, and my wife. I mean, I a couple of road trips here and there with some other guys, but not not anything.
Nothing crazy.
Well, I mean, there's been some crazy shit, but not.
you Joey and Joey and Dion in fucking Virginia.
No, it wasn't Virginia. It
That
was North
story.
Carolina.
North
See, you
Carolina.
out here fucking up the game, Talon.
I
He
thought
said
it
he's
was
not trying to
literally
tell the
outside.
stories.
Well, I was waiting on him to, tell the story.
He's not trying to tell the story.
I'll tell you,
It's
it's a
not
funny
my.
story.
I mean, this isn't my podcast. It's Alex's podcast.
Yeah, it's my podcast. Don't tell the motherfucking
Yeah.
story.
Love you, man.
Oh, you want to hear the story? All right. So
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
you might be too young to remember this. Do you remember when McDonald's had Mighty Wings?
No.
I don't remember that either.
McDonald's used to have these things called Mighty Wings, and they were fucking delicious, but they would tear your stomach to hell. So
Oh,
yeah. So we make a road trip when we go from Chattanooga, Tennessee to Shalom, North Carolina. It's a 9-hour trip one way. On the way back, now mind you, we wrestle on Friday, tear down the ring, jump in the car, and head straight to Shiloh. 9 hours. We arrive at like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Hotel hadn't opened yet. We're fucking exhausted. We pull into a Walmart parking lot and go to sleep. Go do the show, hit the bar, shut the bar down, hit the hotel, whatever. We're on our way back, and everybody's hungry. We're like, hey, let's stop at McDonald's and grab some Mighty Wings. Terrible idea. They tasted great, but 30 minutes down the road, stomach starts bubbling. So we pull off, hit the bathroom, and this happens like every 30 minutes for the rest of the trip. We get yes, we
Jeez.
get like 4 hours down the road, and we stop at this one bathroom, and there's like 3 stalls. We take them all, and all of a sudden, yeah, all of a sudden, like we're in there doing our business, and you hear doom 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 doom. Somebody's knocking on Dion's door, and he's like occupied. And then you hear doom doom doom. They knock on Joey's door. He's like occupied. Doom doom doom. Knock on my door. Occupied. Not 2 minutes. Like ain't nobody came out the stalls. Not 2 minutes later, it's doom doom doom, doom doom doom, doom doom doom. Like knocks on all 3 stalls again, and then all of a sudden you hear, well, the stalls are all taken. I guess I'll just blow you right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they got
like,
time.
Exactly. So you hear like a muffled laugh, and I can't hold it in. I just start laughing my ass off. The door opens, like you hear the door open and they leave. I finish up. Joey and Dion finish up, wash our hands, walk out. Now this is one of those gas stations that also has like a restaurant attached to it, and it just so happened to be a Dairy Queen. So,
oh,
yeah,
okay. Making bad decisions all day.
Exactly. Well, we didn't stop at the Dairy Queen. We walk out, and there's 2 guys sitting at a table sharing a single ice cream cone. Like I lick it, you lick it. I lick it, you lick it. And we were like,
Hey.
nobody else was in the store when we walked in. They were the only ones in when we walked out, and I was like, I just look over. I was like, I bet that's them dudes right there. Joey busts out laughing. I just walk out. My wife and Joey's wife were standing outside, and I'm like, get in the car. Get in the car now. We got to go. right about that time, the two dudes walk out with the single ice cream cone, and I couldn't hold it in anymore. I just start laughing, and they look over and they're like, "What are you laughing at?" Nothing, man, nothing. Do you, boo boo? Do you?
That's that other glizzy gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's crazy.
Gosh, that's
wrong.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's some freaky shit.
Yep.
in a gas station bathroom though.
In
Like
a gas
that's so
station
bad.
bathroom.
I know they say get it where you can, but geez.
Yep. Yep. So,
golly.
Ice cream and blowjobs, bro.
Ice cream blue.
Sounds like
Yo, it could be a
sounds like
song.
Sunday.
That's what I'm talking.
it could
It
be.
could be a song.
Hell,
bet it
Joe
is.
ain't doing nothing
Already.
these days, right?
Yes, yes. All right, Alex. Before we get out of here, promote yourself. Social media, what you got coming up? Lay it all out there for us.
I make my debut at Pele Pro on Saturday. I'm wrestling Cam, the Money Guy. He's calls himself the Money Guy.
Okay.
I've got a promo posted to social media. If y'all want to share that, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Definitely will.
And then I think next week I got Paradigm Pro and I've got IWE in Augusta, Georgia. So that should be fun. Follow me on Twitter at Alex underscore Kane 11. Actually, you know what? Fuck that. I have a link tree on all of my social media, so just click that and find all my social media stuff.
Okay.
Brainbustertees.com, that's where my merch is. MLWshot.com. Get yourselves a Bomaye t-shirt, and then come to all the MLW shows and chant Bomaye, Bomaye, Bomaye. Just do that. It hypes you up. It make you feel good.
It does.
Forward. Or whatever. Roger knows.
Yeah. I'm part of the
Bomaye
club,
all day.
all day.
No,
Awesome,
but that's my self promotion right there.
That
Okay.
theme song's a banger.
See,
Oh yeah, it is. That's man. Yeah, that's gotta be. That's definitely one of the best theme songs. Probably not just in MLW, but in all pro wrestling. I think, in my opinion, it's up.
Thank you.
That being said, though, Alex, man, thank you so much for being on.
Hold on, Talon. Where did you get your thing?
Yeah, go ahead. I think I know what you're fixing to ask. Go ahead.
Where did you
Where'd
get
you
your
get your theme song?
So I have two. The one that y'all probably heard on Saturday is the newest one. And then I have another one that came to great popularity on the independents and people still love it. But a friend of mine named Lacey the Great, he made them both for me. As kind of a gift because he could see the potential.
Yes.
Right.
But yeah, he made them both for me. He's always been a fan of me, so that's who made them. He's a great artist on his own.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, man. Well, it's getting late. I just want to say thank you, man, for doing this for us. I ain't gonna lie, like I was nervous to ask you to do this because you're busy with MLW and you're busy with all these different things that you got going on. But I do appreciate it. I've always been a big fan of you since I first seen you. And thank you so much for being here. I know Chip and Roger also appreciates it, man. And good luck to everything you got going on, brother. We be praying for you, and we do appreciate you being here with us.
Thank you for having me. Never be afraid to ask me something.
Awesome. We appreciate that. If you want to hang out for just a few seconds, we got one more thing. We got a couple things to wrap up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight to this episode of An Evening With Chip, Roger. Anything y'all want to say before we get out of here this evening?
As always, check out movementradio.us. That is your one-stop shop for all things Movement Radio.
And shout out to all of our sponsors, Raj.
All right, let me get the list up. All right. First, shout out to gearanime.com where you can get some of the best anime gear. And they actually updated to the new Dragon Ball Super movie, and they've got a bunch of that shit out now, too. It's actually pretty good.
Fuck yes.
They got that Orange Piccolo Jordans that actually look really good. And the Black Frieza.
Yeah, I got to get that one.
Yeah, but shout out to Gear Anime. Go to gearanime.com/movement radio. Use promo code MOVE Radio, MOVERADIO, at checkout for free shipping. Hey, we can hook that up. Actually,
Hook that up.
Actually, getting you with some anime looking stuff. I mean, hey, that Goku outfit. Say,
I'm down.
Same. Shout out to our second sponsor. Thank you to Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/movement radio. Get 30 days of free audiobooks, and also with you get one free audiobook. One free audiobook to save, and if you have Prime, you have 2 free audiobooks to save. Third sponsor, thank you to Canva. If you got anything to design, logos, business cards, YouTube thumbnails like me, video editing stuff, everything like that, there's there for you. Go to partners.canva.com/movement radio. Shout out to getresponse.com. GetResponse, if you just opened up an e-commerce business or you just need to reach more customers, e-commerce support, and email chains, you can go to getresponse.com/movement radio, help your business grow. And our new sponsor is Elementor. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because we said it wrong.
Not elementary, Elementor.
15 times.
I fucked it up last time.
Elementor. And help you build a web design, so you can go to GetResponse and Elementor to grow your business even more. But Elementor/movement radio.
Shout out to all of our friends in this endeavor with us. Shout out to Sean Thompson with Thompson Personal Training, Jerry and Jennifer at the Chronic Conversation Podcast, Andrew and Sean at the Warrior Workout Network, Ivan Montanez, twitch.tv/UnleashDemon, all the big homies over at These Ninjas Podcast, Sean Miller with Should I Watch That, Damon Smith with Cover 2 Sports. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of An Even With. Again, Alex, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. And thank you guys for tuning into this episode. We love you. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Let's hit them with the outro.
Please do not leave without leaving a like, comment, share, and subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform.
Make sure you follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Check out the YouTube channel, subscribe, click the bell to get notified of our latest videos. And once again, check out movementradio.us.
I am Chip Hazard.
I'm Talon Williams.
I'm Roger Sierra.
And
I'm the Suplex Assassin, Alex Kane.
And this
God's
is Movement
plan.
Radio.
Bomaye. Bomaye.
God's plan, Bomaye. Hell yeah, here we go.
Bomaye. All day.
All day.
Bomaye, Bomaye, Bomaye.